wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. Jack, we Ric Flairing on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry for spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing son up, baby.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered a leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. Listen, we're back with another one. Listen, first one from the city of Atlanta at the new studio. Okay, everything has not been put together yet, so this is very impromptu, but I wanted to get something out on this because of the simple fact of it's a hot topic and my bad. It's a hot topic and everybody has something to do and everybody has something to say about it. All right. But before I get into that, make sure you like the stream. All right. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. All right. Appreciate the quality. Appreciate the quality. You know, listen, I got, I'm doing a little upgrading. You know what I'm saying? I do a little something. I'm doing a little upgrading. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, listen. So we all heard the news of Isaiah. Breaking news, Isaiah landed the transfer portal. Now, this is what I'm going to say. This video is not going to be very long. I'm going to say my little 2 cents and I'm going to get up out of here. I hate this. I was trying to be all professional, but this ain't me. I ain't even going to lie to you. All right, ooh, much better. I just like the freehand this Jay. All right, so I've heard it from two sources, right? So I've heard it from a couple players. I've heard it from multiple sources, right? So I got a couple players saying, Scotty, we don't think he's in the portal, but who knows? Then I got it from a very, very, very high level source that said it's a no. It is May 1st. It is the final day for the transfer portal. I can't tell you anything definitely, but I will tell you there's great speculation on both sides. You're going to have a lot of speculation on both sides until everything is finito. All right. Everything's finito. Nobody knows it for sure. So I've gotten from a good source that says he's pretty much 99% sure that he's not in the portal. And then I've heard it from players that said he might be. They don't know for sure that he might not be. So that's a little hit or miss on that one. So it could be this. I'll say this. If he did it like, low key, that's possible. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through compliance though. You got to go through all the process of going through compliance and stuff like that. I just don't understand why some of the players will say this is a lie, because I'm assuming they deal with Isaiah Land more than a lot of us do. And once again, the source that I had that's really, really, really close to the situation said, Scotty, like, it's going. He said from his opinion, it's a no. From what he's been hearing, is that it's a no. But I will say this: if it is a yes, I can't blame him. If it is a yes, I cannot blame him. If you watch the draft at any point yesterday, or at any point throughout the 2 or 3 day draft, 3-day draft, the NFL is telling you that the FCS is not where it's at. I'm just listening. I'm gonna call a spade or whatever. The NFL is telling you that they do not care about FCS players. Point blank, period. Right? Because there's kids that are official backups. I'm talking about backups. I'm talking about like, I just want to be like backup. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how players that are backups are getting drafted. You see what I'm saying? So that's just my little 2 cents on that. I don't blame him. If he is in the portal, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I really don't. So you can't. But this is where I have a problem with, right? This is really what I have a problem with. Why? Like, so Deion comments underneath why? Why do you need to say this? This is flat out wrong. You go into the portal because you don't think you can go pro from an HBCU. Well, a few went yesterday and over 20 went from FCS schools. Be the change that we all desire. Don't run from the challenge. Wisdom is a great coach and does a major job with exposing his kids and preparing them. I pray he changes his mind, goes back to FAMU, because ain't no sure thing. You're going to get reps, exposure, recognition somewhere else. Just because it looks green doesn't mean it's grass. This is coming from somebody who played at Florida State. You did not go to an HBCU school. And if Marquise Bell was probably one of the highest rated players from FAMU, and I don't know how long, he didn't go. He got undrafted. The guy who wrecked shop in the SWAC went 6th round. Isaiah Land, he's in the same predicament. The same predicament that James Houston is in, being a 6'1", 240-pound DN / linebacker, which makes you a tweener, which is hard to grade you, right? That's why he went so late, because you don't know where to put him. You don't know if you're going to put him at linebacker. You don't know you're going to put him at DN, so he's a project. You know what I'm saying? So Isaiah Land, if I'm Isaiah Land, if I'm his family, I'm looking at the same thing. I'm like, yo, like, I'm seeing kids that got 16 starts in 3 years get drafted in the 5th and 6th round. I'm seeing kids in FCS that are just balling out of control, not going drafted. So you can't be mad at the young man. You can't be mad at the young man for doing something that he feels is best for him. You can't say it's flat out wrong. That doesn't make sense, because everybody's situation is not the same. And everybody likes to bring up onesies and twosies when it comes to making these decisions, but this is not about the minority. This is about the majority. The minority of the fact is, yeah, you had 9 people go from, I think the Missouri Valley Conference. You had 9 people go from that conference. You had 2 go from the SWAC. You had 1 go from the MEAC, I believe, right? So once again, it's not to say that you can't go. It's just that the probability of you going from FCS is not that high. And if he doesn't feel comfortable taking that chance on his career, let him do what he do. Let him do what he do. It doesn't make sense. So you can't get mad. So let me get this straight. You're happy when people leave Power 5 to come to FCS. You're okay with that. Oh, everybody's fine with that. But then when a kid wants to leave FCS and go FBS, it's a problem. I'm going to say that one more again. If a kid wants to leave FBS and come FCS, no problem. All you guys are dancing around, kicking and screaming. Oh, yeah, look what we got. Oh, we got this kid. We got this kid. But if an FCS kid decides to leave a program and go up to FBS, he's a sellout. He don't want to change. He don't want to agree with the culture. What? What sense does that make? They're both the same. They're literally the same avenues. One wants to try his hand at FBS. One wants to come down to FCS. What is the difference? I'm confused. So to tell a kid he's flat out wrong, listen, and Blue said it correct. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves the transfer portal until it hurts them. Everybody loves the transfer portal until this is the same guy who half his team is from the portal. Half your team is from you make a statement, I live in the transfer portal. Oh yeah, we got an apartment in the transfer portal. That means you don't have no problem with FBS kids coming down to FCS. You have no issues with that, but you have an issue with an FCS kid going to FBS. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. And I get it. Willie Simmons and Dancy, they're your boys. I get it. Dancy, Willie, they're your boys. I get it. And I'm not saying either one are bad coaches. No, Willie Simmons is a great coach. But just like the transfer portal giveth, it can also take away. So let's not act like this is different or this is new. It happens. It happens. That's what happens when you have the transfer portal. Just like he can come down, he can take his ass back up. And once again, these are young men and women, not kids, making life decisions, okay? They are going to do what's best for them, not what's best for the institution, not what's best for the culture. You cannot put a whole culture on the backs of young men and women. Why would you want to do that? Because at any time, any point in time they let you down, they feel like they didn't just let themselves down. They let all the people who are believing in them down. So don't put the whole culture on the people. Don't do that. Don't put the whole culture, oh, if he leaves, he doesn't want to be the change. That's not his mission in life. His mission in life is to go do whatever he wants to do. That's his prerogative and that's his right. You can't say it's flat out wrong. It's not flat out wrong. It's not. It's his choice. Just like it's all these other white coaches' choice to get up and leave a school in the middle of the year. Nobody say that's wrong. Your boy from Oklahoma, he dipped out and went to USC in the middle of recruiting. Nobody said that was wrong. Brian Kelly dipped up and left to LSU. Nobody said it's his choice. It's his choice. And this is the weak stuff that I'm talking about. This is so weak. The weak stuff about it is this, right? If any player from Alabama decided to come down to Jackson State to play with Deion, he would not stop them and say, you know what? Hey, man, Nick Saban's a great coach. Hey, man, just stick it out. You can make it. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, listen, you got to have to wait your turn, bro. Go wait your turn, man. Go wait your turn and do what you do. Like, hey, Nick Saban's that guy. You want to make? He would never say that. Never. Not never. So you're willing to stop a kid to go up, but you would never stop a kid to come down. Man, y'all gotta start seeing bigger pictures, bro. Like it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than what you got. All you guys keep talking about culture this, culture that. It's bigger than that. At the end of these days, the kid, listen, man, you don't know what situation these kids are in. You don't know what situation these kids are in. He might love fam. He might absolutely love fam, right? But there's a situation where a school might come and give him a bag that his family needs, that his family might need, that his situation might need. People might even find a situation. He might go into a situation that's better for him just in that moment. You get what I'm saying? But to say it's flat out wrong is, y'all, you're being a hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite. It's just that simple. It can't be flat out wrong. Come on, man. Listen. I want y'all to read this. Break this. This is Jesus Christ Jr. This is Jesus Christ Jr., right? If he's a Christian man, which he claims to be, see, y'all don't see the bigger picture. All y'all do is half y'all primates just be nutsack defending. Y'all be nutsack defending this man. If he's a Christian, like he claims he is, you know what you tell that young man? Hey, I hope you prayed about it. I hope your family and friends support you. God bless you in your decision. That's all that should come out of his mouth. That is it. That is it. That is all that should come out out this grown man's mouth. Since you're a Christian, it should simply say, hey, I hope you prayed about your decision. I hope your family and friends are okay with that decision. All right. I know FAMU's going to miss you. God bless. That's it. That is it. Or something like at the end of it, I would have loved to see you in another Orange Blossom Classic. Something like that. Or I would love this. I'm gonna miss playing against you or coaching against you. Something like that. But this is baloney, man. See, and this is the stuff I'm talking about. When you have a platform, you don't have the same. Listen, it's the same thing that happens to me. Everybody says, oh, Scotty, you can't say this. You can't say that. Well, when you got 2 million people following you, you got to do a better job of what comes out your mouth. You got to do a better job of what comes out your mouth. You can't just be out here spurting out everything. You can't. That is a lack of responsibility. Thank you. Thank you. He needs a burner account. He needs a burner account. Instead of it being 21, it needs to be 12. Thanks, babe. So listen, man, y'all can say I don't give a damn what y'all saying because most of y'all are just nutsack defenders anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave it at is. But what I'm saying is this, right? If you can't, what you cannot do. This is what I want to be very clear, right? What I want to be very clear to say it's flat out wrong. Listen, man, listen. Oh my God, man, you guys are clowns. To tell another kid. Right? He's a grown man. Let's not even play. He's a grown man. To tell another grown ass man that his decision that Deion had no part of was wrong, flat out wrong, you're bugging. You're bugging. Stop. Like, if you guys can't even see that premise, you're blind. You're blind. Once again, you're blind because at the end of the day, is it not about the men? Is it not about the young black male? That's what it's about. Get your education, play a sport, get your degree, and move on. If you make it pro, great. If you don't, you got a degree. That's all that really matters. 0.01% get drafted in the NFL. And I'm not saying he can't, but the bigger picture is let's make society full of prospering, educated young black men. That's what it's all about. That's what it's truly all about, is having a young black man not be a statistic, getting his degree and moving forward in life, i.e. Bishop Bonnet. Bishop Bonnet graduated, right? Graduated, walked right into a project manager job at a construction company from a FAMU graduate. That's what it's about. Now he can go take care of his daughter in all the most possible ways possible. Listen, a lot of you guys don't like Malcolm, and Malcolm has never called back in since. But Malcolm, for sure, has always said, it's about getting the degree, Scotty. It's about getting a degree. So not everybody's going to go pro, but at the same time, everybody has to do what's best for them. Let me ask you another question. Was it flat out wrong for all the players that Deion cut? Was that flat out wrong? All the players that have left and gone to the transfer portal? Is that wrong? Is that it? Come on, man. You can't pick and you can't pick and choose shit. Stop picking and choosing. Is it wrong with all the players that he cut? Is that wrong too? That are now in the transfer portal when he probably told them something that he didn't see fruition? A la Brown came from high school, signed with him. Is that fair? He cut him. Is that fair? He in the transfer portal. Is that flat out wrong? Oh, okay. It happens on every level. So why talk about one particular incident? That means you need to talk about all the incidences, especially the ones that you're a part of, the ones that you've been cutting, the ones that you've been putting in the transfer portal. Talk about that, Mr. I got an apartment in the, we got another, bro, this man is king of the transfer portal, and he has the nerve. This guy, he has the nerve. Come on, bro. This don't make no sense. And the funny thing is, I'm gonna end it with this. The funny thing is, the funny thing. The same Jackson State fans who are talking bad about FAMU and everything, y'all the same nutsack defenders that be like, good riddance to them kids. We didn't need a la Brown. We didn't need this kid. We didn't need that kid. It only works when it fits your narrative. It only works when it fixes your narrative. It is so, y'all Bamas don't even see it. Y'all are just so blind, and y'all be nutsack defending all the time. God, dog, I know he is your Lord and Savior, but please ease up on the nutsack defending. Okay? So, Jesus freaking Christ. Oh my God. That really bothered me. I'm not going to lie to you. That really bothered me because at the end of the day, it is only what that young man feels best, right? Because listen, you can't tell a young man what he should and should not do for him and his family. It's his life. And this is the same guy that went to Florida State. He didn't go to FAMU. He wasn't trying to change the culture. He didn't go to Bethune-Cookman, and he grew up in the 80s where he saw nothing but HBCU graduates get to. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? He grew up in an era, right? He grew up in an era where he saw nothing but HBCUs people go into the draft. Why he ain't go? Why he ain't go? He didn't go to FAM. He didn't go to Bethune. You went to Florida State. That's where you went. Come on, man. Like, stop. What are we doing? And you felt that was the best decision for you. So let that young man figure out what's best for him. Just like Travis Hunter thought was see, oh, here we go. See, now I'm preaching. When Travis Hunter decided to go to Jackson State, nobody had a problem with that. All the white people had a problem with that, but then the black people looking at the white people like, oh, he came home. He did this. He did that. Oh, yeah. So that was what's best for him. That was what was best for Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter felt it was best for him to be around Deion and Jackson State. That was his choice. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. That's fair, right? Now, if Travis Hunter was to dip out on y'all, which I don't believe he will, I'm just giving a hypothetical, you can't have the same energy. Oh, that's flat out wrong. Come on, man. Like, that's all I'm saying, man. Y'all got to see the whole landscape. Stop looking through your narrow peephole talking about like, oh my God, look. No, man, look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. So just like, let the man rock. Let the young man let him make his decision in peace. Send him on his way. Say, thank you. Appreciate your time in the SWAC, man. You show kids what can be. Like, big up the kid. Pump the kid up. Speak life into the kid. Speak life into the kid. Yo, man. Oh, man, we're gonna miss a great one. We're going to miss a great one. I hope everything works out for you. God bless. Listen, the SWAC is always home for you. That's how mature 50-year-old men are supposed to act. That is how a mature 50-year-old is supposed to act. Hey, man, I wish this wasn't true. I hope this isn't true. We missing a great one. Hey, you a dog. Go show them what you about. That's what that's supposed to sound like. The same oh my God. The same standards that you hold for these young men and women, right? When they write their little transfer portal letters, the same energy you keep from them players. You don't want your player leaving and talking bad about the program. You don't want a transfer portal to be like, yo, F that school, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. You don't want none of that. You see a lot of them say this. Hey, listen, my time at such and such place was good. Respect to the coaches, respect to I spoke with my family, I prayed, and without further ado, I'll be doing this. I'll be going here, right? So the same energy that you want these kids to have for your program when they're leaving and not being disrespectful, I would hope you hold the same grown men and women to the same standard. That's just my little 2 cents. But once again, Blue told me he's in the portal, so you know what that means. He's in the portal. So once that happens, it's in the portal. So hopefully he finds a situation. Because remember, let's be real. He can always go back. He can always go back to FAMU at any point in time. At any point in time. And listen, once again, you know how I feel. If you don't agree with nothing I say, you can.
If I make you feel some type of way.
Because, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I'm going to speak my mind, and that's just what it is. So, listen, nobody made you join here. Nobody twisted your arm to click on this link. You are more than welcome to.
If I make you feel some type of way.
So, that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. So, but listen, if he leaves FAMU, listen, do your thing. All right. Do your thing. I hope you talked it over with your family. I hope you know where you want to go. All this, that, and the third. All right. All this, that, and the third. Go be great wherever you go. All right. So it is what it is. I'm gonna open the call lines up for a few. Let me see if anybody has an opinion about it. And then not, I'm gonna head up out of here. Let me see.
There are 2 participants in the conference.
All right. Hey, what's up, Bobby? Talk to me.
What's going on, Scotty?
What's goody?
Man, first off, shout out to Coach Simmons and his recruiting and coaching staff, because they found an undersized guy, under-recruited guy out of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, I think he's from.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a Buck Buchanan Award winner in his 3rd season at Florida A&M. Congratulations to him for all his hard work. If he decides to leave FAMU, amen. If he doesn't, amen. Lord knows we want the boy on the squad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people are vying for 260 some spots.
Facts.
That's like 2.5 teams in Division I football worth of people. If he feels like his best chance is to go another spot to get one of those 260 odd spots, bless him.
Mm-hmm.
No team should cry over losing any player. Now, the next truth is FAMU has lost 3 players to the transfer portal, I want to say, which is just another compliment to the university and the coaches and the culture, because it's not like a trend. Most people lost more people in the transfer portal last week than FAMU has since there's ever been a transfer portal.
That's a bar.
So, nobody should stress that. Nobody's stressing that. Good luck to the man. He earned his ability to be able to better his situation from his play on the field.
Facts.
If he feels like, that's the best thing for him, amen. And I'm going to root for him. And if he gets drafted, you already know what's going to happen. We're going to claim like he graduated from FAMU.
Facts.
So
Facts. They going to say, you know what FAMU people going to say? He wouldn't have been there if he wasn't balling out at FAMU. Listen, we all get it. That's the game. That's the name of the game.
Hey, look, we're going to give him the facts and leave it alone. Like, look, he became a Buck Buchanan Award winner at FAMU, which allowed him to go to where he got drafted.
Facts.
So, congratulations to the young man, for real. I'm excited for him. If he decides to leave, if he decides to stay, I'm really excited for him because I know the kind of work he's been putting in on the off season because I keep my ear to the ground. But, yeah, ain't no one player going to stop the show. That's what recruiting is for. That's what, players ebb and flow. It's an ebb and flow of players every year.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is what it is.
Nah, I appreciate the call though, Bobby.
And hold on 1 second. I got
right.
to talk about this. I got to say this. I've said it before that Deion says what he feels is the right thing to say at the moment, always. I said that to you before. No matter how wrong it is, because he chose a Power 5 school over an HBCU when he was being recruited.
Listen,
so
when you're listen, at the same time, when you're a bigger brand as Deion, you don't feel that anything can really touch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you don't, it's a few things you just can't touch on. The Alphabet Gang, you know what I'm saying? What else? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're really just Alphabet Gang. And maybe some politics in certain areas, you know what I'm saying? Touch on that. But a lot of stuff people always forgive you about, you know what I'm saying? Oh, mental mistake or lapse of judgment and stuff like that. But at the same time, just because you can say it doesn't mean you always can say it. Like, there's a lot of things on here that I want to say, and I say a lot of them. But a lot of stuff, my girl says, bro, you cannot say that just because of where I want to go. And Deion even being at the pinnacle of the mountain of what it talks to be like a celebrity and, all that, you got to watch what you say. And your voice rings. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you say something is wrong, everybody's gonna feel. Some people who don't have an opinion for themselves or who don't think for themselves are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's so wrong. You know why that's wrong? Because the Lord and Savior Deion Sanders said it was wrong." Like, you have those type of people. It's the same people who go to church and say, "Well, pastor said, pastor said, pastor said," because you don't think for yourself. You don't study to show yourself approved. So my thing is this: in certain aspects, once again, Deion has every right. He's a grown-ass man. He can say whatever he wants. But at the same time,
Right.
everybody has every right to say, well, what are you saying? Like, why would you say that? You know what I'm saying? When you look at the whole scope of the whole landscape of college football, that's where it is. The transfer portal gives and takes. So you can't get too emotional about one thing. Because if that's the case, you got, man, listen, like they say, and like Chinese verb or black saying or whatever, they like, you pointing one finger and they got three pointing back at you. So Deion's the king of the portal. He has no right to talk about nobody jumping in and out of a portal when you sending kids voluntarily. Hey, involuntarily, you just get your ass in the portal. Hey, when you get your ass in the portal. Come on, man.
When Deion had two full ride choices between Florida A&M and FSU, he chose FSU. FAMU was recruiting him to be a quarterback. FSU was recruiting him to play defense.
It's great.
I ain't arguing his decision. Hall of Famer. not debating that. But he has to allow people to have the same choices that he made.
Thank you. Period. Point blank, period. Hey, appreciate the call, B.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Dre? Talk to me.
What? Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I agree with a lot of the points the last caller. I'm not gonna say, I forgot the gentleman's name. That's transfer. I don't think he's wrong. I think a lot of people, and obviously people have different reasons for transfer for entering the transfer portal. Obviously, him and Willie Simmons are tight, so it's almost like covering for his man. Cover may be the wrong word, but you know what I'm saying, supporting his guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think where I'll speak for me, the question maybe because he's probably the best player on FAMU now. It ain't a playing time issue. It ain't, most people transfer because they're not gonna get playing time, or I would say that's 80% of reasons. Other reasons, maybe the coach is leaving, or stuff like that.
Facts.
But you talking about easily the best player on FAMU. It ain't a playing time issue. It ain't even a recognition issue because he was a defensive player of the year issue. So that would have been, it's puzzling, especially with a brand like FAMU. It ain't like nobody don't know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope he knows what he's doing because there's no guarantee no matter where you go.
That's facts.
So I hope he's done all his research, and I would ask you this question because you probably know this just like I do. Once you go into the portal, FAMU's not obligated to keep a scholarship. Would you accept him back?
I would.
Let me know why. Because he ain't like he got kicked into the portal. You voluntarily put yourself in the portal.
Okay. I mean, but that's just like they can find a replacement. At any point in time, they can voluntarily cut him, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can voluntarily put myself. Now, if FAMU doesn't want to keep the scholarship, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? They have every right to do that, is just as he has every right to give it up. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, to me, it's all about, at the end of the day, for a player, if I was a player, it's about what's in my best interest. I don't give a damn about the school. Like, a lot of people need to, like, don't get me wrong, like, some people are going to Jackson State and FAMU and North Carolina A&T because they have history, they got family. There's a love affinity for the school. And then you have players who probably never heard of it. They go to FAMU and they respect what FAMU has given to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I wouldn't even have this opportunity if not for FAMU giving me Florida A&M giving me this opportunity. But at the end of the day, you still have to do what's best for he still has to do what's best for him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if I was FAMU, I would like, I'll be like, yo, if whenever you want to come back, your scholarship's available. But once you choose another school, we got to go. You know what I'm saying? We got to move on. So, you know, it is what it is.
I mean, obviously he chooses another school, it's over. But, you know, once you, I think as far as I know, once you enter in the transfer portal, they're not obligated to keep your scholarship. Is that, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking, do you keep a scholarship on hold to wait for him to make a decision?
No.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, nah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I'm interested to see where he goes though, and everything. But you know, just like everybody's entitled to make the decision, and we'll see where it works out. If anybody watched the draft the last 3 days, they know that the draft is an inexact science. The quote unquote top quarterback lasted till 3. Lasted till round 3.
Yeah.
And you know, Georgia's defense was just that damn good. So,
man, listen, listen, man, I don't care what nobody says. If I would, Nugget's my boy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Nugget is my guy. If I was Nugget, I would be pretty hot right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't even gonna, because let me tell you this. If Nugget does what he did in the spring at Georgia, he's a guaranteed second round pick. That's how little you really have to do at FBS. You get what I'm saying? Like in FCS, you got to really be the guy. Like you got to be the dog. Well, Jacoby Durant, what if anybody watched the draft, what is the clip of Jacoby Durant they showed more than anything else? His time playing against Clemson. They showed that Clemson clip. Like, I mean, they had it on repeat because that's what. Also, go ahead.
Also, he tested well too, though. Because that, you know, that's important. He ran a good 40.
Oh yeah, he ran. I mean, and listen, Nugget ran a 4.34 for Junior Day, so he's good. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't have the. I'm just saying if he would have been at Georgia, I'm telling you, he'd be a lock as a second round pick. But since you're at, it's no different than. Okay, good example. If Christian, the boy from North Dakota, right? North Dakota State. If he goes and does that at Ohio State, he's a first round pick. You see it's just the school, the clout of the school gives you more push up than anything else.
Now also we can say this. The dude from North Dakota State, does he get on the field at Ohio State? Because we see people from Ohio State transfer to Alabama because they can't get on the field.
Okay, and there's backups at Ohio State that got drafted in the 4th and 5th round. So that ain't even saying much. You get what I'm saying? So,
it's definitely a damn inexact science. I mean, it's one of the things is like, I mean, you just never know. I mean, I was kind of shocked Akil didn't get
I wasn't
at all.
I wasn't.
I'm looking at.
I've been said that. I said that from day one. I said he goes undrafted. I listen, man, like people got to take the emotions out of the draft because that's all I was reading every day. I was just reading more and more and more emotion. You have to take emotion out of the draft because go ahead.
I figured somebody would at least take a flyer.
No. If the league is not, listen, if this was 2006, 2007, Akil is a 5th round pick, 6th round pick. Yeah. It's 2020. He's not mobile. His mobility is so that's the biggest hindrance for Akil is his lack of mobility. Like if he could have just ran a 4.6, 4.7, you know, and he could show on tape that he's agile and mobile because that's what they are looking for. When you got white boys running now, you got the Josh Allens, you got the Joe Burrows, you got the Christian Herberts, you got all these white boys starting to run. You already know the black dude's gonna run, so it hurts him that much. And that just shows because think about it. Cole Kelly didn't get drafted. Eric Barriere didn't get drafted. Like those guys, and they're better than Akil. Cole Kelly is better than Akil. Eric Barriere is better than Akil. You know what I'm saying? Malik Willis went to the 3rd round. Like, so if you don't, so go ahead.
I knew it was going bad when Malik Willis dropped because I already knew they was only taking one quarterback in the 1st round. But I knew once he dropped, I was like, yo, it's just gonna be a for the quarterbacks and a lot of other positions, just gonna be. But wide receivers look like if you play wide receiver, you're gonna be all right.
We'll see. But hey, man, I got a lot of people to call on. Let me go, Dre. Appreciate the call though. Cole Kelly can move. Cole Kelly can move. Okay, they use him in goal line power all the time. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me. 9878. You live. Talk to me.
Oh, that's me. That's me. How you doing, man?
What's good?
Tony, calling from Houston.
What's up, Tony?
How you doing?
What's good?
Hey, man, I've been watching your show, man. Hey, I was hearing that you talking about Deion, and his comment.
Yep.
So I want to try to explain to you. Now, I don't play on all three levels. I played at Norfolk State back in 2004. And I went free agent with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
So let me explain what's going on. When you said Deion shouldn't tell that kid to transfer, he shouldn't transfer. You know why? He's an All-American player. And then you said the Porter give and take. And Deion shouldn't be contradicting himself, talking about he be pulling guys out of the transfer portal. Most of those guys in that transfer portal that coming from the Power Five is not an All-American, not a blue chipper coming down to the FBS. You notice the guys that's coming down are guys that didn't play or was backup players and they want to get on the field. Okay? Most of those players, if you watch the landscape of the football, how Deion changing it, those players would normally go to the white Division I AA school and balance out that football spread it out. Now they starting to come into the SWAC. You got to pay attention to it. Okay? You got to give it a year, and you're going to see the HBCU football balance out with good football play. That's why he needs to stay. Then you said, hey, he only 6'1", this and this. He's still going to have to deal with that when he go to the Power 5. And now he will have to go to the Power 5 and try to battle to play someone that's already there. Where he come back to FAMU, he already the starter. His name is already out there. And then I'm going to give you another thing with the free agency. When you say it was only like 4 guys got drafted. If you watch the free agency, how many HBCU guys that got undrafted contracts, that would never happen. It'd be only a few guys would get that. And they normally would give it to the guys at the Power 5 to balance out their roster in the NFL. Probably would get a few guys. If you notice, over 20 guys in SWAC or just black college all got a free agent contract. That's big. That's really big. Off script. That would never happen. I told you I played in the MEAC. That many guys wouldn't get a free agent. You'll have to try to get a workout, a private workout.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When did you play in the MEAC?
2004.
Okay, so you said it would never happen. It happened to you, so that makes sense to me.
Okay, let me tell you. I just said a few. Yeah, this is what I said, a few. I just said over 20 guys.
That's still a few.
In the MEAC.
That's still a few.
That's a lot. Hey, that's a lot. Normally, those free agent contracts will go to the Power 5 or FBS. I mean, FBS to balance out their rosters.
Sir,
because when you go into camp,
how many people got drafted last night by FCS? How many people got drafted last night by FCS school out of FCS schools?
Yeah, but those are the guys that need the Power 5.
That's not what I asked you. 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 Answer my question. Answer my question. Answer my question. How many players got drafted from FCS?
At least over 20.
Okay, right? 23 to be exact. So what I'm saying to you is there is a market for it. There are people getting drafted. Let's not act like they're not getting drafted. That was more than since 2008. So that's not to say that people aren't getting drafted. If you're focusing on undrafted signings, that is all based off what team that is. That's all what team are looking for. I want this, I want that. You can't tell me that Deion made that whole thing mix. You can't tell me. You cannot tell me that. I will give you this. I'll give you this. The only thing Deion did was put a spotlight on it, right? That's all he did was like, yo, we got players down here too. Okay, cool.
And that's what.
But you can't tell me. You can't tell me. Listen, I don't give a damn what you're talking about. Marquise Bell, if he didn't get drafted or not, was going to get an undrafted free agent contract. You can't tell me he wasn't. It's nothing.
Yeah, but that's only. But you got to think he's all American. He's all American.
Okay, that's how good you have.
His name is already out there.
That's how good you have to be.
He went to the combine. He went to the combine in Indianapolis,
sir.
So he was already seen.
Sir,
listen. Think about the other guys that did not get invited to the combine.
Sir, once again, at the end of the day, he was going to get a contract. I know from 2 scouts personally. I was glad he went to the Cowboys because we need safety help. That's what it was.
I'm a Cowboy fan too. I'm a Cowboy fan.
So I knew we needed safety help. But I talked to a scout that said, okay, cool. I talked to a scout
I'm trying to show you something. You keep talking.
Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
All right. So I think a lot of people aren't being honest because, I mean, if you are rooting for the HBCU, you want the best players to stay. Now, I know there's going to be people transferring out just like with JSU, cutting this part of the game. But when you got your best, not just the best player on the team, but one of the best players in the SWAC trying to transfer out, that's not a good look. Like, if anything, that's not going to help with the promotion of getting players drafted, getting players to the NFL, or getting better looks, or evening up the competition. Like, that's not a good look. So I do understand where Deion is coming from because it doesn't just hurt FAMU. It hurts.
Why does one player have to? Y'all Bamas are not listening, bro. What if your son was Isaiah Lynn? Why would you put all that? Why would you put all that pressure on his back to say because listen, let's be very clear. I want you to put yourself, if you were his dad, right? At FAMU and schools are telling you, yo, he can come here and play. He can go to UCF, South Florida. Let's say Georgia. Let's say all this stuff. Why would you have a whole culture? Why would you put a whole culture or a whole movement on top of one player? Why would you do that? Why would you say, son, you got to stay for the movement? Why would you do that to your son? Make that make sense to me.
Nice shirt, Scotty. I didn't say that. All I said was it's a bad look, and I understand Deion's opinion. First of all, if it was my son, I already know from a different angle. I played for both sides, the SWAC and the MAC, Temple. But I would tell him this is a bad move. It don't make sense. Why would you go somewhere where it's unforeseen what your future's going to be? You don't even know if you're going to get on the field. Look at Baldwin. Somebody was putting in chat. I forgot all about him. Then there was another dude that went from Alabama A&M and went to what's that school?
There's no guarantee either way.
No, but it's a better chance where you got to establish yourself. You know the system, you know the coaches. Why would you go? FBS does not guarantee your career is going to go well. It's not even.
Neither does staying at a FAMU. What are you talking? It doesn't go either way. That's why the whole point I'm trying to say is you make the decision what you feel is best for you. You're looking at it from the outside looking in, talking about, I think that's a bad look for the SWAC if your best player leave. What does that mean for him?
It is. I said it is a bad look for the SWAC if your best player, and that's why.
Get another one. That's what recruiting is. The same way you got an Isaiah Land and you developed him to Isaiah Land, go find another one.
You're not being real right now.
How am I not being real? That's recruiting. That's recruiting.
A lot of players are one of a kind. Come on, now.
Isaiah's not one of a kind. If you could sit here and tell me a 6'4", 230 DN is a one of a kind, you don't know football. What are you talking about? He's not one of a kind.
Football, but everybody can go out and get 25 tackles for losses in 19 seconds. You can just do that. James Houston, go get another James Houston.
Bro, the whole weakest point, sir, the whole weak thing of the SWAC is the trenches. We all understand that. The trenches are the worst part of the SWAC. So if you have a dominant player on your trenches, i.e. a James Houston, i.e. Isaiah Land, it's going to make kids look bad that they already are bad. The offensive lines are already not that good. So if you have a player that's pretty decent or great, he's going to look even more so in the SWAC because the trenches are so bad. But to tell me you can't go out and find another 6'4", 240 D lineman, and if we're being honest, he probably can't even play DN at the next level. If we're being a whole buck about it, he's going to have to at least be about 260, 270.
You just proved my point. All I said was he could do what he wants. Of course, but as his if you're asking me as his father, I would say, look, son, ultimately it's up to you, but I would not advise you to leave. Like, you're in a good position. I don't understand why you would do to
once again, I'm going to ask you why though. Why would you tell him to stay? Listen, Marquise Bell, which everybody thought was a guarantee. See, this is what y'all really just be talking out the side of your neck because you don't really know football. Marquise Bell was a measure. He had the measurables, he had the stats, and he had everything you're asking for a safety. 6'2", 215, tackle, free safety in the box, however you want it, he can give it to you. Went undrafted. Now you're telling me Isaiah Land, 6'4" tweener, a tweener at the DM position is more guaranteed to get drafted than a Marquise Bell? What sense does that make?
Who said that? Why are you making this? I never said that.
So why are you telling me him staying is the best thing for the SWAC then? It doesn't make sense because if he stays in the SWAC, he's still a tweener dominating lower level offensive linemen. And if he goes to the FBS, he's a tweener going against higher level offensive linemen. So make it make sense.
Where there's more competition, he's not guaranteed to get on the field. That's the main point. What's better, you getting taped for your last senior year or going to a school and not getting no burn?
Depends on how you. I wouldn't listen. If I feel I'm good enough, if I feel I'm good enough, I'll take the jump. If I feel I'm good enough, I'll take the jump. The hard part about it is, to me, if I was Isaiah Land, I would stay at FAMU. I would stay because I always believe if you're the guy, be the guy. Yeah, like I'll tell any kid that. Like if they ask me, Scotty, what should I do? I'm like, listen, bro, if you're the guy wherever you're at, just continue to be the guy and now build your body up to meet the measurables. You get what I'm saying? Like I'll tell you that.
We're saying the same thing. I'm not.
But I won't tell a guy he's flat out wrong. I would never say that. For your decision, I would never tell you that. That's the difference.
No, I understand where Deion, maybe he might be wrong for putting that on blast because it's not his position. He's not even his coach. But I understand where he's coming from because, all right, let's just be real. He doesn't have an objective outlook. He has a objective goal to make the HBCUs in a better playing field. So of course he's going to have that opinion like, yo, don't leave. Now it would have been better if he had DM'd them versus doing it on.
That's fair. That's fair. I respect that. Yeah, I respect that.
But I do understand where he's coming from. But I get what you're saying. Him being the figurehead pretty much of the SWAC is putting a target on this dude, I guess, where he could have just did it privately or made a phone call. Now that part I do agree with.
Look, this is the only thing, right? We can agree on this. I agree with you. If you're saying, like, I will always tell a kid, if you're the guy at a school, don't go to another school and not be the guy. Like, that just don't even make sense to me. Like, it just doesn't. I would be the guy I would be the big fish in a small pond, then a big fish in a big pond, or whatever, how you want to flip it. My thing is this: you just can't tell a young man that's a wrong decision for his life. You can't say that, because at the end of the day, the freedom and luxury that you have for the transfer portal, you have to give that same respect to the actual players who are in the transfer portal. That's the respect you have to give to the player. That's my whole thing about it, is that for somebody who lives in a portal is telling another kid not to go in the portal, that doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I said if it's a way, if it's the way you phrase that to say, you know what I'm saying, hey, we're missing a good one. Hey, we sorry to see you go. You know what I'm saying? Wish we could see you again in the Orange Blossom Classic. We had some, you know, you can say it without saying it. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a way to do everything. Once again, Jackson State just never understands there's a way to do everything. But for me, I just cannot agree with somebody telling a kid who is his life and his decision that it's a flat out wrong choice to jump in the portal. Does not make sense to me. Does not make sense.
Yeah, it's hypocritical.
So, you know what I'm saying? But if you feel you're that good, then go be great. That's all I'm gonna tell a kid. If you feel you that good, go be great. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this though, and you can counter. I'll give you this point, and you can counter back to me. If he does 10 sacks, if he does half his stats at a Power 5, he gets drafted. You can't make me not believe that. If he does half, listen, I'm so serious. Let's say he goes to Miami, right? Let's say he goes to Miami and does half of what he did at the SWAC in the FBS, he gets drafted. I promise you that. I promise. I'll put no amount of money. I'll put any amount of money on that. If he does half of what he did at FAMU, he gets drafted.
Yeah, that's the sad part, though. That's the sad part.
That's my point.
Because
go ahead.
It'll mean more. It will mean more coming from FAMU, but it's hypocritical of Deion because he lives in the transfer portal. Okay, but I'm biased. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm biased. I want to see the SWAC win. So, and you actually made my point better than me. You're right. If you are the guy, why leave? And right now, James Houston left, so you ain't got him taking some of your limelight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's him. So he can double back and be the FCS Player of the Year. Now, how good would that look but twice being the FCS Player of the Year? So right now he's the guy in the SWAC as far as defense. I mean, I'm sure there's probably other guys, but he's the guy right now. I feel. Listen,
I'll tell you this. He would, for me, for his size, what hurts him is his size and his weight. I saw Isaiah Lamb up close and personal. He is like a muscular thin. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just who he's, a muscular thin guy. I promise you, if he played safety, he would probably be a first round pick off measurables, because he's 6'4", 230, and I'm talking about the leanest 240 you will ever see in your life. Just straight lean, just straight muscle and lean. If he was playing safety, you'd be like, oh, this dude's a first round pick. But being 6'4", lean DN just ain't, it's hard. So he would have to look the part as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get a little bit bulkier, got to get a little wider. But I'm not saying he can't double up what he did in the SWAC, but that's what I'm saying. You have to be twice as good just to get a 6th round pick. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about James. Like, if James Houston would have ran it back another year, he might have went 5th round. He might have went 5th round. Like, that's the problem that you're having when you're going in the SWAC and you're playing these players, because you got to have the production and you have to have the measurables. And a lot of people bring up the offensive lineman. Yeah, Titus Howard was 6'5", 330. That's what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're looking for. If you're what's the dude? Teron Armstead. He's 6'7", 320. That's what you're looking for. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, when you fit the measurables and then you have the tape to back it up, okay, now it makes sense for us to take a 2nd and 3rd round pick on you. But when you don't meet the measurables and then your competition is like, now it makes you look back and like, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? It makes you take that hesitance. But if you're 6'4", 240, 250, dominating at Miami or dominating in North Carolina or whatever power, ACC, Big Ten or whatever, now they have the production to say, yo, I think he can make it work here. So it's just it's a lot of variables.
Do you think the SWAC draft? To me, the draft that don't really even make sense, because it matters what you're doing between the lines once you're in the league. Like, I mean, the draft is for show and your family and all that, but it matters what you're doing to keep your contract on it. But as far as NFL status, draft or do you think moving forward with the talent they get, and if it does improve competition-wise, that they will be in a better position in the coming future?
Nope, because they don't want to play nobody. It takes, okay. The SWAC has to get out the mindset of not playing. I'm telling y'all, if you're not playing top competition, it's going to make it seem bubblegum. I don't give a damn what type of players you have, right? And I'm a stick on to Kobe Durant. Every clip that they played of that kid was against Clemson. I lie to you not. If you go back, as soon as he was drafted, they played Clemson 37 times. And they played every clip of him playing Clemson, batting the ball down, the pick, the breakups, all that type of stuff. You have to have that type of high level tape to make people say, yo, we got to go get this kid, right? So that means playing top level FCS talent. That means playing South Dakota State. That means playing North Dakota State. That means playing Sam. You got to go play these guys because at the end of the day, that's what they're judging you off of. Listen, it's not to say the white man's ice is better. It's, yo, that's what the test requires. Let's go take the test. That's what the test requires. Let's go take the test, right? So kids like, so Southern playing LSU, right? Who's to say let's say Kobe Dillon or one of the running backs go for 150 against LSU. That is a great tape to have. That's a great tape to have, and you can never take it away. So now when he's getting looked at and like, maybe, they can turn on that LSU tape and say, hey, man, but listen, he carved them LSU boys up. You see what I'm saying? So it helps. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but it definitely helps. So being scared to go play competition is not going to be in the SWAC's best interest. They need to get out that mindset of, oh, we just play ourselves and we good to go. That's not going to work.
All right, that's fair. I agree.
So that's it, man. But anything else?
Can you send me one of the shirts in the size blind? Appreciate it.
You got everybody calling me nice skirt Scotty and this. Like, I was like, that's pretty clever. I appreciate it. Listen, I just came from church, man. So listen, man, I just came from church. Don't judge me. Just came from church.
I said, Scotty acted up because he got on his church.
I got the khakis on the match too, man. So don't do me. I got the khakis on the match, man. Hey, appreciate the call though, bro.
All right, man.
All right, man, peace. Oh, man, that's funny. But listen, overall, change the test. Why? See, this is the stuff you got to understand. My mom used to talk. Listen, when I joined the military, right? I'm gonna keep it a whole buck with you. When I joined the military, and I was getting in a lot of trouble, like I was talking back and this, that, and the third. My mom called me because my mom's retired E7, so she called me and she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, Mom, they don't get this. They don't understand. And my mom said this. My mom said, the Army has been around for over 200 years. Do you think that they're going to change for you? Do you think they're going to change for you? And I was like, no. She said, you got to play the game. You got to play. Come on, man. I know a military guy when I see it. You got to play the game, right? So once again, the NFL has been around listen, I'll give you I'm gonna make my point that I'm gonna circle back around. The NFL has been around for a long time. All right. They have been successful doing it the way they've been doing it for a long time. Okay. You have to play the game. That just is what it is. You have to play the game. Now, what I will say to you is this. If I was an HBCU school, I would make a petition to the NFL to have the 32 teams pay like 1% or 2% back to whatever they make in that $1 billion budget. I would have them pay 1 or 2% back to HBCUs because let's be real. Most of these teams' Hall of Famers are HBCU graduates, right? So to me, I would feel like, yo, we help build the NFL. So why won't the NFL help keep us alive? That's something I would do. I would go to the NFL committee. If Deion wants to be, if Deion wants to be the Lord and Savior of the SWAC, he should go to the NFL, go to the commissioner, sit down with 32 teams and say, listen, this is what it is, right? HBCUs have built the NFL. If it wasn't for HBCUs, Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Shannon Sharp, T.O., all these players that are NFL Hall of Famers, why not give 1 to 2% of your budget to HBCUs, to HBCU schools? That, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, that adds up over time. You know what I'm saying? But, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my personal opinion on that. But once again, play the game. All right. Play the game. And listen, I'll tell you this. Representation matters. I'm going to say this and I'm going to get up out of here. Representation matters, right? Representation matters. So the GM for the Detroit Lions, I don't know if you read the article. Go read the article. It's actually really good. I think it was on Bleacher Report or Athletic or something like that. The GM for the Detroit Lions that drafted James Houston, he is a North Carolina A&T graduate. And so he talks about, in the article, it says his mom challenged him and said, why don't you draft HBCU players? You went to an HBCU institution. You graduated from an HBCU institution. Why don't you draft more HBCU players? And he told his mom, he said, listen, they haven't, the competition hasn't always been up to par. That's what he said. He said the competition has always been up to par, but now I'm seeing more players come out of HBCU schools that can actually play. So that's why I'm going to make it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say this. Representation matters. You need people that look like you, who think like you, who see a bigger picture to pull the trigger on those players. All right. So he had the confidence to pull the trigger on James Houston because he knows what's in the SWAC. He knows how that went down and everything like that. So it is what it is. So you gotta have some representation in those spots as well. So playing the game is one part, playing competition, as well as, having representation of us in those positions of GMs and co-GMs or whatever, VPs and all that type of stuff. So having representation matters as well. So 2 parts to that. All right. And listen, thank you. Buddy Pugh has a pipeline to the NFL. He has a pipeline to the NFL. He's developed enough players. Listen, bro, he has a track record of having players go to the league. So they trust it. I'm going to say this. And I'm going to get up out of here. And appreciate all 300 of y'all tuning in on this Sunday afternoon, man. Stuff like that. Listen, I'm still in the process of getting everything together. All right. But, it's going to be cool. We're going to get it rolling. We're going to keep it rolling, keep it pushing. I'm here in the A. All right. Amaretta said, where I stay at, Amaretta said it's not the A. I stay in McDonough. So, it's not the A. So, it is. But make sure you guys like the stream. But I'm going to say this. All I ask is that when you guys see these players that are from your institutions that are good, that are great, or can be special, don't limit them to having to stay at your institution, especially if they graduated from your school. If they graduated from your school, they got the degree and they're doing a grad transfer, just wish them, a Merry Christmas, bless them, hope they do good, because at the end of the day, they're always going to be a product of your institution. Okay, they're always going to be a product of your institution, and you guys are going to be a founding block on them. So don't have them leave your school with some bad taste in their mouth about how the fans treated them or how the people treated them or anything like that. Just wish them the best. All right, let them go on their way, and they're always going to come back home to what's right to them. All right, so just give them that, man. That's all I ask, man. Just show them love. You know what I'm saying? Love them people, man. Love on them. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you to go. We wish you would stay, but hey, do great. Whatever you do great. All right. Shout out to the Icon Collective. Shout out to the young man who thinks I'm crazy. Shout out to you, man. All right. What's up? Oh, okay.
Hi, guys. Happy Sunday. First, like the stream. I'm back. We have a bigger house, so the like police has to do a little traveling to tell y'all to like this stream. But I'll pop up wherever I'm needed. I wanted to say thank you all for your condolences with my grandmother. Be on the lookout. And in the chat, let me know if you guys will be interested in us doing a virtual housewarming. I have an Amazon list that I am building because it is a lot of house from a 1-bedroom apartment. So we would take any blessings that you guys, Oscar fan meetup. Oh Lord,
y'all don't need to know nowhere where I stay.
You telling them the city, Big Mouth?
Oh, well, they don't know what, but it's done a big.
Is it? Oh, okay.
And with the virtual prayer,
we do like air fryers, but we have one. God had already told me to grab that before I knew where we were going. So But Amazon link will be posted. I'll have him put it in his Instagram thing and send it out. So okay, yeah. Well, just let us know. Wanted to say thank you guys. God bless you. I hope that you are. Do it now.
No, I'm just saying if people will be.
Oh, and also another idea that had came was, how interested would you all be in a virtual on Sunday only prayer stream? Okay, he won't be praying.
I will.
He will not be praying.
I will not, because it won't go that far. I'm trying to tell you, it hit this ceiling right here and come right back down.
Hey, Deb.
This one.
Hey, Deb, we will appreciate that 50-inch TV. However, I'll jailbreak it. I mean, unlock it. Sorry. Yes, I'm glad to be back, Mr. Walker. So yeah, oh, Miss Body is in. Praise God. Okay. So I just think it would be good to pray. Well, yeah, well, okay, we got 2 or 3. The Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered, God will be in the midst. All right, so we will stay tuned. Maybe Mother's Day prayer. Oh yeah.
That'd be dope.
So all the mamas, if you have a mama, lost your mama, need a mama, meet us here. And next Sunday we'll definitely have a special kickoff. The old school pastor. I have to have my potso call in and do the hooping and the hollering because Scotty, he don't like those kind of preachers. The Pentecostal in me will stir right on up. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to the kitchen because I am cooking. Dinner's almost done. Thank you guys. In the chat. Only in the chat. You will not give me instructions.
It's how it's gonna look like that. That's speaking tongues in the chat right here.
Oh my God.
That's speaking tongues in the chat right there. That's speaking tongues in the chat right there. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. All right, listen, we want to get up out of here, man. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. But yeah, we're gonna try. Listen, man. Listen, this off script stuff. We just want to be as much as fun and I'll be bicker and go back and forth. Like listen, man. People need prayer. All right, people need prayer. People need, and God to come through in a mighty way. I'm telling y'all. And I be preaching that my girl be talking to God. All right, she be talking to God. All right, so she be talking. So we can do that. And if you guys want to make like prayer requests, you guys can send it to my Instagram and I'll give it to her. And she won't say your name or anything if you want to keep it private and stuff like that. So, but yeah, man. So we appreciate all that. But until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless. Listen, we in the A, baby. We here.